That's why.
James Faluszczak, F is in Frank, Aluszczak, again, AK.
Great. And again, Burke calling for the state police to investigate the diocese.
Assemblyman Burke, back when he was president of the Erie County Council, held hearings into a number of these matters involving the diocese and was one of the first of several elected officials in the area to really call the church in Buffalo, the Diocese of Buffalo, to accountability. And so I laud him for, again, being out in front and calling for a more detailed investigation by the state police. You'll recall that Attorney General Tish James conducted an investigation and issued a report. That report never named any priests. She gave pseudonyms, essentially, and gleaned from existing reporting rather than presenting anything new, and gave a slap on the wrist to the diocese, such that even to this day, Bishop Michael Fisher is allowing Bishop Richard Malone to represent the diocese at just about every cathedral event, ordinations, any kind of special event that's at the cathedral. Bishop Malone, who was named in that Attorney General's report, is still representing the diocese and being given pride of place. So obviously the work, any other investigations, any other revelations, obviously his work still undone.
So in calling for going to this level of the New York State Police, even though the FBI federal charges have been filed against this man, and it just seems like I think along with many here in Western New York, he's had enough. Enough is enough. And I think that this is why he feels it has to go to this level.
There's a lot of frustration in the survivor and advocate communities with the fact that I'm glad that the FBI intervened, and I'm glad that Father Nowak finally got arrested. But you'll recall that there is supposedly some ongoing investigation by U.S. attorneys of every diocese in the country, not just in New York State. We've heard nothing. Perhaps a number of these crimes are time barred by statutes of limitations, but unlike my home state, where we had a groundbreaking report issued that really didn't result in a lot of prosecutions, but it gave the public a report. It gave the public information that was well needed. And that's what I hope. I hope that the state police in New York, who I trust, that they will be able to come up with some mechanism to either charge wrongdoing, crimes in the present, but also give a better official reckoning than the state attorney general has given the public. So I support anything that the state police does. I stand ready to assist them in any way, and trust that they'll do their very best.
Yeah, I mean, in what he outlined too in his news conference was, the comprehensive investigation and to coordinate with the state and local investigators, because he always feels like it's always up to, if it happened in Buffalo, it's up to the Buffalo police, or it's, a suburb, it has to be the Cheektowaga police, you know what I mean? So he wants a more coordinated effort in that regard, and to serve as the primary liaison with the federal authorities. And he also said he'd like them to consider a state police investigative unit dedicated to this type of an issue.
And that's one of the things that I've been saying about Buffalo and New York State. You're talking about crossing multiple jurisdictions, and that's complicated. In my home state of Pennsylvania, we had that groundbreaking grand jury report in 2018 that really just only scratched the surface. And what we really need is, like you say, something more sustained and a dedicated. I think Pat is right in calling for some sort of dedicated unit that stands alone and stands vigilant constantly. One of the things that I hear again and again is how the Diocese of Buffalo has not just spurned victims and turned away those of us who have made reports to them. There have been instances of retaliation, official retaliation by diocesan lawyers against survivors and victims who have tried to blow the whistle. And so we really, it's kind of scary when you see it. I've seen it personally, and I know others who have too. And it's like, if this is the church that Christ founded, if this is the ministry, these are the ministries that he initiated, why do these men in black, why do they act like this? And why do they hire high-powered attorneys to fight the truth from coming out? You know, we would all be forgiving. We would probably be less litigious. We'd be less inclined to want money to reconstitute the things that we've lost if the diocese would just be transparent.
Absolutely, and it would give some place for those that feel there's injustice to go to and have it investigated at each step. And you know, it just seems like we can never put this past us in this community.
The Diocese of Buffalo, recently, their independent review board appointed a retired Buffalo City police officer to investigate Father Joseph Gatto. And that investigation, as far as I know, is still ongoing. And that individual reached out to me, and I have to give her credit. And I hope that the review board acts on the information that I've given them about Father Gatto. But by the same token, they really are not independent. They are hired and appointed by the bishop, by Bishop Fisher. And as my former Attorney General, now Governor in Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, has said many times, we cannot trust the bishops to police themselves. We need the actual police.
Absolutely. James, thank you for the great interview and responding to this so quickly. I appreciate it.
Always, Eileen, and thank you for your persistence, and thank you to WKBW for just continuing to stay on this. You guys are doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. We're trying. Just juggling a lot at once.
I know there's a lot happening. Anytime.
Always, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
It was great to see you.
Likewise. We'll see you again sometime, I'm sure.
Yes. Thank you. Take care, James.
Yep.